drivers, taxi drivers, shuttle drivers, bus drivers, anybody out there that's doing a fantastic job keeping people safe and bringing them from A to B, right? You know who you are. This is about you today. This is not about me. I can only make some suggestions, but I am not here today sharing my thoughts or ideas on specific topics. I truly want to hear from you. I have a lot of giveaways from my sponsor, Nextbase, a few thousand dollars in products, the 222 range, the cabin modules, the 322 range Nextbase, and then top of the line, the 522 range. I have a lot of giveaways if and when I choose topics that you have brought forward, right? BB, Junk Stuffix in the house, good day to you, my friend. The Gig Lifestyle, good day. I appreciate you. I saw that. Thank you. Shout out to you. Much appreciated. Mari Gavushi, Uber deactivated my account 1 year ago. How can I get back again? Whoa, look who's in the house. Go GOAT, my friend Thomas from San Diego. Thomas, I was there at 1 a.m. in the morning. Client decided to leave very, very late. I was there at 1 a.m. in the morning in San Diego. Super tight, and it was at the Omni Resort. James Skidmore's in the house. Let him know boxing is the house. Oh, we're going to talk a lot about Trip, my friends. Here's the cool thing. I have an inside source who went undercover for the last 3 months on Trip, and the information, and this guy is smart, man, the information that this guy has brought forward on Trip, and he backs it up, every single thing. Pretty sad what's going on there. Pretty sad how people are exploiting unhappy drivers, especially in the Latino community, unhappy Miami drivers, signing them up under Trip. But we're going to go into a lot of length about that. I'm going to call it the Blue Kool-Aid. It's going to be a fantastic video, my friends. We have a lot of stuff on Gregory Padril. We have a lot of stuff on Rob McNulty. We have a lot of stuff on all the promises made by Trip. We have a lot of stuff on the launch party. We have a lot of stuff on insurance that's just not there. We have a lot of stuff on real estate that they apparently own but don't own. Pretty interesting, this whole Trip thing, but we'll be getting there. Robert Hunick is in the house. IMC creators in the house. Yeah. I mean, you don't tell people when you go undercover, but 3 months, the reporter's back. And when I go over that with certain sources, hallelujah. So all I can say is glad that type of stuff came to light, right? Selling the pipe dream. There's nothing there. There's no Trips. My friend Rideshare Peterson, right? You will see my car. You will see the GMC Yukon that he uses in the video. My car. That's in LA. That apparently did the first trip. There was no functioning rider app. There was no functioning driver app when he made that video. Peterson, I love your channel, my friend, but I truly, truly hope you haven't drunk the blue Kool-Aid. I truly love the guy. I got him a car. I mean, he needed a car. He needed to make money. I regard him as a friend. I wouldn't just do that for anyone. You know, I got him an SUV, so he's making money. And out of the blue, I see Peterson in Miami. I see the GMC Yukon that he got from me in one of his videos here in LA, and he said he drove the CEO. How can you give a trip if you don't have a functioning rider and driver app? The whole thing, my friends, from top to bottom, east to west, north to south, smells so fishy, so rotten. The people pushing it, the Gregory Padrilles of this world. Just look the guy up. Oh my God, the information we got back, the videos that this guy puts out. He's good. He's a master at what he does. And he admits in other videos that he has worked for scams. He is not the scam, but he's worked for scams. He's admitting this in videos, right? There are people after him for unpaid monies. Unbelievable. So, but today is not about that. We're gonna have a killer video. We're gonna send out the papers, the cease and desist. We're gonna send out the documents to Trip for disobeying many marketing laws, and they will be sent cleanup fees from me over the last year for spamming the channels. And I just beg any disgruntled Uber and Lyft driver, wherever you are, and I understand if you're unhappy about Uber and Lyft in certain markets, right? But for a company to come along and to exploit that demographic, those people, right? Mainly people from the Latino community, you know, people like the Gregory Padrilles, which I say taking his brothers and sisters for a ride, right? And anybody can throw a launch party, right? Anybody can throw a party with a DJ, invite people up. That MC that they had, he has about 400 subscribers. He's nothing. He's nothing. The whole stack of cards, the deck of cards that they have, this engineer that they say they have, Taha, who says he studied at Harvard, checked it up. There's no degree from Harvard. We looked the guy up. He may have done a weekend seminar, but he's apparently a Harvard graduate. Smoke and mirrors, my friends. Smoke and mirrors, the whole Trip thing, from beginning to end, right? Sad. And I can tell you something. Check out how these guys are bashing GOAT, right? I am not going to go out there and make these fluffy, beautiful, misleading videos with GOAT, right? That's the worst thing that you can do. But the attacks on our GOAT platform by the drivers for the people, right? Built by a small little team of engineers, right? There are no big facades, launch parties, fake profiles need to be set up. People that are out there creating channels and that have a history of misleading people. You know who you are, Gregory Padrille, with your Bitcoin scam and the people after you. Know it all. Done the research the last 90 days. You are who you are, my friend, right? And then he says, I challenge YouTubers to come on to, that's what he wants, man. He wants our name, our reputation, but who would lower themselves to the Padrille level? Who will go to his level? I'll have a full swing at you, Gregory Padrille. And if you want the dirty laundry out there, I'll gladly hang it out there. People haven't seen your dirty laundry, but the wealth of information that we've gotten back after 90 days on Gregory Padrille is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling, folks. I don't think the guy has ever driven. He's only an influencer signing up his own brothers and sisters. And all he goes and all the videos that he does is, hey, disgruntled Uber and Lyft drivers, here is hope. Here's the blue Kool-Aid. Let me pour you a glass of blue Kool-Aid, right? A guy like Gregory Padrille would not survive a month in South Africa. He would not. He would have so many people on his back coming for him, right? But I guess, you know, here in the US, I mean, what? You just change states, jump around and do a little song and a dance here and another song trip dance over here and another Bitcoin dance. I guess you can get away with that here, right? Eventually it catches up to you. Eventually it all catches up to you in life. So, I mean, shame on Gregory Padrille for attacking a company where you have no knowledge, right? I will back up my knowledge on Trip any and every day. When you make statements that you own property in Vegas and that you own property in Orange County, we look it up. We look up APN numbers. We look up names, right? I went down to Irvine, California once to me to see what this trip was about. Immediately, the next thing, they're taking pictures and, hey, Gregory, he endorsed it. Bullshit. Why would I endorse your program when it come down to listen to it and look at your program, right? I have never and never will endorse a trip. And come November, here's the interesting thing. Taken all those monies, $200 from me. Maybe you signed up a few thousand people. Maybe you've made $500,000 to $2 million you've taken, and maybe you made another $30,000 on the launch event by selling merchandise and having an MC there on the stage and a buddy bringing a buddy, and the car giveaway. There's not even, the car giveaway didn't even give the person the title of the car. From what I heard from our insider who was there at the event, and we're going to bring him on a live stream because he's been following the story around in Miami for a long, long time. We're going to break the story, the true trip story, is that this car was only, I think the guy can use the car for a certain amount of time, but it's not put into his title. He'll never own the car. So this car giveaway, Mr. McNulty, what are you doing there? And then McNulty, I've checked you out as well, man. You have a very, very colorful past. That's all I can say, even with the SEC. My friends, these type of people would not last for 4 or 6 weeks in South Africa if they were doing business this way. Yep. Let him know boxing. So I just feel sad. This is what I feel sad is that, and this guy also has McNulty on record. He'd say where we'd make the most money is not here is in Latin America, right? Going after people that are desperate for jobs, going after people that really need the money, going after people feeding, just showing videos all the time. Hey, look at this unhappy Uber driver, this unhappy Lyft driver, come to us. We are the saviors. We are the gods. Drink the blue Kool-Aid, the trip Kool-Aid, right? And these people think that there is light. They do this hub in Miami at a car dealer who does exotic cars. What the fuck does exotic cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris have to do with trip? Unless you have a category that has exotic cars, right? But they packaged it up there because bling and chrome and horsepower sells, right? You put a model on a red Ferrari and the people will come. I tell you, if you go to any convention and you have a sports car and you have a girl there or a guy in a suit and it's around a car, the people will come, right? People love bling. But this is where they've integrated the trip hub at this exotic car dealership. The one has nothing to do with the other. Another thing, we called the Miami Dolphins. There was no one there that knew that they had endorsed Trip, right? And Gregory Padril showing up at a football game. I show up at a lot of Lakers games, and that I can take a video there. Oh, they're endorsed us. There's a, you know, this is the suite and eating strawberries and you know, pretending to do the high life, taking pictures of himself over in Dubai, sitting on Lamborghinis. You don't own one, my friend. You don't own a single car, right? I'm sure that BMW that you're driving is leased, right? And you're sitting in an apartment with no furniture. I've checked it out. So, fuck, man, are these the people taking our Uber and Lyft drivers for a ride, folks? Seriously? Tavo L'Oreal Trip is endorsed by one of your drivers. Yeah, I mean, that you're 100% right about that, Tavo. But here's the thing. I gave that driver a car, right? And he's still a friend. I had no idea, nothing was said to me that he was going down to Miami to meet with these people and endorse Trip. I can't stop him from doing that, right? I don't, if you leasing a car from me, you leasing a car from me. And I went out of my way to get Peterson the car because I care about him. He's a hell of a nice guy. And I will stick with that statement all day long. Peterson is who he is. I had no idea, was completely blindsided that suddenly my friend Peterson is in Miami, that suddenly this car that I'm leasing out is in one of the videos, and it can only be here in California, cannot be in Miami, right? So, wow. Vegas in the house, Roy. I don't know if you guys, Roy, do you now know a guy called Tour Las Vegas 80? Have you heard of this guy? If you know anything about him, send me some feedback. He's a Vegas driver. But hey, guys, bring the stories, whatever topics you want us to talk about. I want to talk and do a long, very detailed video on Trip and all the stuff that we found, and talk about all the individuals behind this company, right? Talk about the Blue Kool-Aid, talk about the Padrilles, the McNultys, the Modder, the Bishops. You know, I've sent these guys countless emails to stop spamming other people's channels. They have no control. They have no legal arm. They meet in these rented offices. They don't own any offices. They don't own any buildings. There is no address, right? If you meet these people, you meet them at like little rented offices. You can rent an office maybe in Vegas, or you can, you know, where you rent it by the hour or for the day. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, folks. Jim Steingrove, GP flashed me like a stack of $100 bills in an attempt to bully me. The guy's a hustler, man. The guy's a hustler. The guy's a hustler. No one, show me any person, please, I beg you, show me money that you've made with Trip, right? Let's give the first person $50 who can just show me that you've made $1 with Trip, right? So the GP, the Gregory Padrille, is in with these guys. And when I said to Bishop, one of the mouthpieces of Trip, shut your boy down, he's out there slandering, he's going to get you into so much trouble slandering and defaming other companies and people especially, right? You don't have stuff on me, then don't go out and create shit. Don't go out and create fake listings, right? But I will report on the facts. And the facts are that if you Google this guy's name, do yourself a favor, go onto YouTube and put in this name. Go onto YouTube and put in this name. And Bishop, no, he's not part of us. Gregory Padrille, listen to me. Your guy, Bishop, says you're not part of him because he's covering his ass and the other guy's covering his ass, right? Just check it out. You want to go onto YouTube and put this guy's name in. This is one of the biggest mouthpieces, right? Again, I'll put money on it that he's never given a rideshare trip to date. He's an influencer, but he's been an influencer for many companies. He hops and skips around from one opportunity to the other. In some of his videos, he actually admits that he has worked for scam, that he personally is not the scam, but that he has worked for companies that turned out to be a scam. So if he has some remorse or some feelings towards his brothers or sisters, why doesn't he give the money back, right? Why doesn't he give the money back? James Campbell in the house. No, Joseph, you're right. But look, when you say, Torsten, quit wasting your time and breath on Trip, Joseph, you're 100% right. But here's the thing. I feel for those people who give $200, right? And let's say Peterson went down to endorse Trip. That is entirely his baby. He can do whatever he wants to do, right? Nobody will tell anyone who you cannot endorse. So if Peterson wants to endorse them, that is his personal decision. Nobody should stop him from doing that. I will not stop. I was just blown away to see that vehicle that I organized for him in one of the Trip videos with a Trip sticker on it, right? And I asked Peterson, hey, this car, where's the insurance? If you're driving this car for Trip, where's the insurance? Let's say something happens to our car. Okay, So where is the insurance? I have not seen, nobody's shown me the insurance policy of Trip. It's not there. We've asked for it. Tons of people have asked for it, right? Yeah, we've got a good guy who's down there in Florida who has a wealth of information. I'm not going to disclose his name. He has been collecting info for 90 days. He went to the Trip launch. He has spoken to McNulty. He has a wealth of information, and everything he talks about, he backs up. And that's why I take him as a credible source, right? I will never, ever endorse Trip. I've said it from day one. I've made videos about non-functioning apps. I'm going to make another video from my source that was down there in Florida. There was an $11.80 Uber trip. There was an $11.50 Lyft trip in the basic category. And I believe Trip was asking $6.48 for that trip. That's what the same trip, the same Uber trip, the same Lyft trip, the same trip, right? And I'm going to back it up with real screenshots, right? Talk is cheap. As I said, let me get the numbers right. I think with Uber it was $11.87, with Lyft $11.54, with Trip $6.48, right? Now, if you take the 40% off the Uber fare, you come out to $6 something. If you take the 40% off the Lyft fare, which the company keeps, you come out to $6 something. Trip is calculated the same way. So you're getting this almost the exact same money, right? The exact same money, $6 something with Trip, $6 something with Uber after what the company takes out, $6 something with Lyft after what the company takes out. But here's the difference. You're paying $200 membership with Trip per month, right, as a driver influencer. So you are going backwards. You're pissing money in the sand, in the hot desert sand, right? And people need to see this. Then you have the Padrilles of the world, right? When the company goes, you get 100% of your fares. When you advertise it every single effing day that you get 100%, make sure you do give the people 100%. Suddenly now there's $1.99 or something booking fee. And the Padrilles of the world will come out and say, well, that's nothing in the scheme of things. It's like you're still getting your 99 cents. I'm asking you on $6.48 for that trip in Florida. If you're taking out the booking fee of $1.99, what is the driver left with? $4 and Trump change. You telling me that that's 99% Padrille? Have you ever been to school and ever operated a calculator? Have you ever done business or done a business degree? Or have you just been setting up website after website after website, taking money from people, right? Show us that the knowledge you share can be backed up, Padrille. Show us that, right? Don't just talk words and YouTubers and blah, blah, blah. These guys have the subscribers that they have. They've built their channels. They've educated their people, right? If I go through all your videos, right, you have been skipping and jumping around from one opportunity that you're trying to sell the people to the next one. If that one burns out, you've jumped onto the next one. A few months further, your YouTube channel, you're on the next idea, selling to people, right? This Trip, McNulty, the Bishops, the Motters, this is your boy in Miami with the 20,000 subscribers. This is the chosen one by you. This is the one that you replenish with blue Kool-Aid that goes around getting people that are desperate for a job, that are disgruntled with Uber and Lyft because they see the light. I always wanted Trip to succeed. But when I really get the info, the hard facts, which I did 2 days ago on the weekend, and go over that on a 4-hour phone call with a good source, with all the screenshots, everything backed up, right? Links, photos, you name it. I got to say to myself, in my life, I will never, ever, and I have never taken a sip of the blue Kool-Aid. Never, ever. It's an effing joke, folks. And, any deputy attorney general or attorney general in Florida or in any state should start looking into that, because MLMs get shut down. You know, you just have to make a few calls to the right people that start an investigation and that start digging about a company, right? There is nothing to date. And we're in this launch was supposed to be on August the 18th. There is nothing to date except for one trip that Peterson did apparently for McNulty, where none of the apps functioned, right? And the sad thing, it's done in my car, possibly for a company, because I see the trip sticker there, that doesn't even provide insurance. I said, show Peterson, show me their insurance. Don't tell me they have an insurance. Show me the insurance. Trip, show us the insurance. They've never showed it. Show us the buildings that you own. You don't own any, right? Fucking damn right, I'm woke and on fire today. Greetings from Boise, sending you love your way. It's not preaching. We're talking about facts here. We're talking about feedback from people in Florida. I've been out there to Nevada, to Vegas, to try and find the so-called computer-generated building and the offices. Nothing. There's nothing there, right? I have been down to what is called the Trip offices down in Orange County in Irvine. It's an office share where multiple companies share offices or lease offices by the hour. There's nothing there. There's no APN. There's no company. Sorry, there's no parcel property number that is assigned to McNulty or anyone, right? I have not seen the insurances for Trip. If you have them, please send me a copy, right? And when are we gonna? When are the people? When are we drivers that are signed up with Trip gonna make money, right? When do they make cash? When do they make cash? So, anybody ever been to an MLM launch party? I've been to several. It's like an Anthony Robbins. You get a total high for one night or for one weekend, right? And you go out there and you think you can conquer the world after you've been to Anthony Robbins. I paid $10,000 for an Anthony Robbins seminar. Now, the guy is good. The guy is a phenomenal speaker and has a machine, right? But if you do not go out there after that high and turn things into reality and actually get working, that high disappears. It's probably like a drug addict who's taken some drugs, 8 or 9 hours on the high and then they dip, right? You got to follow through. When you're spending that type of money with someone, you got to follow through and deliver, right? And I'm not throwing Anthony Robbins into that mix. I would never, ever compare his seminars or anything like that with MLM parties. But I can tell you one thing that I have in common, right? They have MC speakers that pump up the crowd and then sign up the people afterwards, right? Are you ready? Are you ready to join the movement? Are you ready to make the money? And they bring out those $100 notes. Let's get going, folks. Let's sign up. Let's do this. They're out there, boy. You ever go to an MLM party, they will choose the best MCs, a lot of lights, big screens, disco lights, you name it, to sign up the people. I just hope, and I am definitely not, don't get me wrong here, I am definitely not attacking the Trip drivers that sign up and they put their money down, their credit card, right? When you've done the first month of work and the numbers don't add up, call your bank, cancel the card, right? Don't let any company hit your credit card twice, right? Once bitten, twice shy, folks. And I want those drivers to make money, but everything that I see is smoke and mirrors. Everything I see about Trip is smoke and mirrors. And I do not want good people that have been burnt by Uber and Lyft, that are upset, go over there and spend more money with the hopes that they have found the savior, their rideshare God, the blue Kool-Aid God, right? I like that, Jim Horson. What time is the funeral? The tactics that these companies use, and it goes for all of them, man. What Lyft is doing to you, you know, what Uber is doing. No wonder the drivers get so creative and fight back and figure out ways to make money. You can make money if you figured it out, right? If you can actually outsmart the companies, right? I cannot outsmart Trip. I cannot, because there's no way to even start making money there. With a non-functioning app, you're not going to make money, right? You can't even get on the platform and take a booking. Just got a call. Vinny Cuz. So what topics? I mean, I went on a big rant and a rave about Trip, and that was purely more of a reactive video that I made today on Trip, based on 3 or 4 hour conversation that I had with two guys that have been pretty active in Florida. And after I saw my friend Peterson down there, I can't stop him, man. I can't stop him. You know, so I love and respect Peterson for what he does, for the hours he drives here in LA. But I want the guy to make money. I don't want anybody to chase a pipe dream. I really don't. And mark my words, you go to the Gregory Padril channel, you will see a react. That's how he is, boy. You do not attack Gregory Padril. He goes fucking insane. He loses his marbles, right? But just go and do yourself a favor. Go to YouTube and put in his name and put him and look him up. And Trip, Gregory Padril, so that you know this. Your guys at Trip don't know you. They have nothing to know. He doesn't belong to us. You're not even part of the family, so they say. The bishops and that, so they say, right? They'll happily take his mouthpiece, happily have him at these events, happily bringing in all these disgruntled drivers, but they don't know him. Oh no, we don't know. We have nothing to do with Gregory Padril. He's his own little island. He does his own little thing, right? I would check up what damage one individual can do to your company. You can really trip out there on online and say shit, right? And that's your spokesperson. So choose them wisely. You know, choose your PR people wisely. They represent you. They represent your brand. They represent your company. So make sure your ambassadors don't have a laundry list, right? A washing list that you don't want to hang out on the line. That's all I can say. I think you can put 2 and 2 together there. No, I don't think Ricky Gannon Jr., I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Much love to you. I don't think that Trip is affiliated with any of those, you know. I don't think they're affiliated with any of those. And, you know, I called the Miami Dolphins offices and I asked about this company. I'm like, we'll look into it, but no, we don't know. We don't know that we endorsed them. George Schneider, Trip is another Uber and Lyft in the making. It's not even in the making. It is not going to get off the ground, right? It'll not get out there if this is the game that they're playing. At least with Uber and Lyft, I'm going to back them up here, so I disagree with that statement. With Uber and Lyft, they went out and they got billions and billions of dollars from the investors, right, to build a company. And they're over in 500 cities. And people made a lot of money, and maybe in the last 6 months, they're making way, way less, right? But they all have functioning apps. They have a hierarchy, they have teams, they have executives, right? I don't see that with Trip, right? When the main tech guy at Trip says he studied at Harvard, send me your degree, my friend. You have my email. Show me a copy of your Harvard degree. You can't. Show me a copy of your insurance for Trip. You can't. Show me the properties you own in Miami, Orange County, or Nevada. I know that McNulty has a house. I think it's about worth $3 million in Newport there in Orange County. Sure, that's a great asset. But show us all these other buildings. I've seen beautiful generated pictures by David Motter, beautiful renderers, sitting there all day long, probably in rendering pictures. This is what the hub looks like. Looks very awfully close to an Apple hub. Almost looks like you've taken pictures there and just chopped and changed them and photoshopped them a little bit. Show us the real shit, man. Show us what you have. And then make us believe you. We want to believe you. We want to believe you. True. These investors and some new ones ought to launch a new... that model right there, run the way it is, James, by these companies with that type of greed, with a budget of $200,000 for balloons. Do you think that's going to work? Right? If they do not run this like a small business, like the guy that starts a small business in LLC and starts grassroots and starts building his company. Why? Because he or she understands the tools of the trade, understands the business they start, right? You did a mechanics degree, you start an auto shop, right? And you build and you earn. But when you have a lot of chosen ones, from Travelocity, 42 million, this guy from there, and all pooled together, investors are paying for hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of annual salaries plus stock for people that don't really understand or know the rideshare business, right? The guy I think that still understands the rideshare business the most was the guy that went out there and started opening up the markets, because there was nothing there. So he invented and got rideshare going, and no matter whether you hate Travis Kalanick or not, I think that was still the true pioneer. I think that was the guy who went in there and tried to say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use technology. We're going to use drivers who have cars. We're going to use passengers. We're going to give them a service. At least he was willing to try and learn. But all the newcomers that come in and say, okay, this is what Travis developed. This is what Lyft developed. Now we're going to run the show. But we're going to run the show by spending $200,000 annually on balloons. What else did they spend $200,000 on? What else did they spend $500,000 on? We need a whistleblower on the inside that shows how they were squandering money, right? Because if you're running up billions and billions of dollars of deficits, then it must be raining money from the investors, and you must be spending it the moment it comes and hits your accounts. You must be spending it on balloons and parties and champagne and caviar. And who's doing the work? The drivers are doing the work. The drivers are doing the heavy lifting. That's why they're so pissed off. And now, oh my God, we've been exposed in the media, right? Oh my God, they are actually reporting on these balloon stories. Now we need to be careful. We need to cut back here and there. We've got to show these people we're in saving mode. Where do they save again? They save on the backs of drivers. Look what Lyft did shamefully in these different cities, in Phoenix, in Boise, in Vegas, getting the screenshots every single day. Go and look at Gio's video, how he attacks Lyft for what they're doing, and rightfully so, right? He's passionate about it. He's exposing them. Dustin is, right? You cannot pull this crap off with drivers, folks. You cannot. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to preach, silly goose. I'm just trying to state it as it is, I'm not here trying to preach and convince anyone. Everyone's already convinced. You've already convinced yourself, right? And if you're still driving, you've convinced yourself of ways to make more money, to outsmart the company. These are the people that are still driving, right? And then there are the ones that are right on the fence. Should I leave? Should I stay? Should I stay or should I go now, right? Then you have the ones that say, I cannot make this work. It's not adding up and I'm leaving. I've seen a lot of those in the last few weeks from, especially in this month on Lyft, mass exodus from Lyft, right? But if you are a driver, if you are a person like the ones that I've interviewed in Vegas and the people that I know in Los Angeles and the drivers that lease cars from me, when I have those conversations, they've figured out ways to still make good money, right? And most of them are driving on Uber and Lyft and doing something else. And most of them are incorporating a side hustle or another company into their office, into their car as they're driving passengers around, right? They are figuring out the 10 angles how to make money, right? And you know what? To use the term hustle, I don't think it's a negative or bad thing, right? If you're hustling out there, figuring ways to make money, good for you. Good for you. I'll wear that t-shirt, I'll wear that hat all day long, right? Hashtag hustle. Because you got to get creative here if you want to make money, right? George Schneider says, I don't think Uber and Lyft burn their money for nothing. Cheap rides are ensuring their monopoly, and drivers' desperation is ensuring their maintenance costs. It's a sad, true, but Uber and Lyft will survive. Will they survive? I'm sure they will survive. Michael Ryan, done here with Lyft in Phoenix, but so every other driver, and it's affecting the Uber surge now. Interesting. Savage Film says, good luck on the road to 1 million subs. Now, I'm not looking for 1 million subs. I have 8 YouTube channels, and you know, if I'm lucky, I have about 60,000 subs. I'm not chasing the 1 million sub mark. What I'm chasing is trying to make a difference, trying to expose certain companies for what they're doing to drivers and continue being a voice for drivers. Whether I have 5,000 subs or 50,000 subs, right? Doesn't make a difference. Are there any successful Uber and Lyft stories? Yeah. I mean, I think I've turned the Uber and Lyft business into a successful story, right? Leasing out cars to Uber and Lyft, setting up channels, working on referrals, driving my own clients, driving maybe 30 to 40% on Uber and Lyft with destination filters, surges sometimes. So yeah, you can make money, right? But you're not going to make money if you're stuck in the in a one grind UberX category, doing a few hours here and a few hours there and have no game plan. You're not going to make money. Nola in the house. So you need to go out there and YouTube Gregory Padril. First video that shows up, Gregory Padril, serial internet scammer. Serial internet scammer. Then there's another video of him sitting on sports cars with cash. Then there's another video of him saying, who is the real Gregory Padril? You know, trying to make wrongs right. A lot of stuff with just jewelry, a lot of bling there. Another one of him attacking goat, that's fine. Another one sitting in a red Lamborghini or sitting on top of a red Lamborghini that he doesn't own. Jet blue fraud alert, Gregory Padril. His BitConnect, his Bitcoin things where he was scamming people. Another one, Gregory Padril, scam, Craig Grant, scam, BitConnect. Goes on and on and on and on. Bad son turned scammer, Gregory Padril. Greg Padril exposed by the Ponzi show, BitConnect. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Damn. End of the day, the shit catches up with you, man. And he knows it. Like they say, you can run, but you cannot hide. Good morning, John. How are you? Ricky Gannon Jr., do you do livery on top of Rideshare? Is livery required if just starting and trying it on the side tours around cities, etc.? And with the TCP, with the limo license, yeah. I mean, I've taken clients on wine tours. I have taken tourists on tours around LA, to Vegas, down to San Diego, up to Yosemite. I've taken clients up to Big Bear, being paid, of course, each time, and I charge accordingly, right? And it's only a certain type of clientele that's willing to pay that type of money. Last night, I touched down in San Diego at 1 a.m. Brought a person that went on a 1-week retreat down there. You know, that was a good paying trip. Mahdi Kabushi, good riddance. Good riddance, my friend. Good riddance. Oh, yeah. I saw another rideshare service, Josh says, called Nomad, that is set up like Trip, except the $30 a month, I believe. Forbes, yeah, I saw that article that Forbes endorsed it. Now that has potential to work. It truly does, right? I don't think it's set up like an MLM. It's only $30 a month. That's digestible. If you're not making that $30 back in a month, you're not going to sign up a second time. But $200 hurts you. People are very reluctant to let their credit card information or their banking card information go on a $200 promise, right? That's a lot of money. $30 they can probably digest. I read that article that Forbes, you can put the article here if you want to. Greg was just live streaming saying that Uber tubers are full of bullshit. Uber tubers do not want to go and be associated with Gregory Padril. That's why they don't go on his show. That's why they will not engage with him. Why would I want to go and stand and discuss it out with the scum of the earth, right? That has taken so many people for a joyful ride. I just do my homework on that guy, and it's too overwhelming. Why would I ever want my name, Torsten Kunert, associated with such an individual, right? What he is trying to do, and he's a master at this, he's trying to use people and other people's name to build, right, and to find those unhappy drivers. So he will watch this. He will use the Kevins, he will use the Geos, he will use any name he can to draw attention to his little cause, whatever he's selling on that day, right? Whether it's bakery, whether it's eggs, whether it's fruit, whatever Gregory Padril is selling on that day, he will try and draw attention to that, right? But these people do not want to be on his show, right? I've watched Geo's videos on them. They haven't been friendly. You've seen my videos on him. They haven't been friendly. You have heard Kevin's videos on them. Haven't been friendly, right? But if you go and look at Geo's history, Kevin's history, or my history, you're not going to find that laundry list. We haven't been involved with 20 different schemes trying to sell apples, oranges, grapes, watermelons for overpriced, right? Tuscaloosa in the house. Uber Eats Pro. Taha. Yeah, I hope this is the Taha. I'd like to talk about the MLM issues, upfront payment issues, and everything else I'm changing based on your feedback, right? Taha, what I want to see from you is truth, my friend, right? You've put your name, you've taken a massive, massive step here to put your name behind Trip, and I hope they're paying you very, very well, right? I would like to see the Harvard degree that you have, or if you've at least attended a Harvard seminar or a weekend seminar, right? Come and speak the truth. So when you want to talk about the MLM issues, the upfront payment issues, and everything else, you're invited onto the show, right? You're invited on here. But you should quickly very, very quickly disassociate, cut your ties with a guy that's trashing the rideshare industry and that is hurting your brand, and that is Gregory Padril, right? If you want to start building a reputation, if you want to start getting true followers that start believing in your company, Taha, right? You got to disassociate yourself from the bullshit speakers like Gregory Padril. The moment the guy is attacked, the moment the guy is exposed, the moment the guy's laundry is hung out on the lawn, Taha, right? He will attack everyone in the rideshare business and turn people against Trip. It's a vicious cycle. So what I've learned in business, sometimes you have to remove the virus, and the virus could be one person, two people, three people, four people, right? Show us that you can make this company work, Taha, but show us that the people that behind this are who they are and that they have true intentions. When a guy like Bishop brings me down there and gives me the song and the dance on Trip, and then afterwards says, I have nothing to do with Gregory Padril, and that guy is out there, a speaker and a recruiter for, you lose every single bit of respect I could ever have for you when you associate yourselves with these type of people. What you do then is you chop them off, you disconnect them. They don't have your codes anymore. I would never, ever allow such an individual to be the face for my company, because people are Googling him, people are YouTubing him, right? So come on to the show. If you want me to do a live stream with you, Taha, down there in Orange County, I want to sit in a real office. I don't want to sit in a rented office. Show me your real Trip offices and we'll sit there and do a live stream, and you'll get the opportunity as the main tech guy to set the record straight. I'm game. I'm down for that. And you know what? That's, at least you're acknowledging that, and that's great. I've seen the pattern. I was saddened also by how the things were handled with Kevin and the entrepreneur. I believe we need, if you want those people to rally around you and become Trip supporters, Taha, if you want their guys to lend their name, their subscribers vouch for you, you got to actually sit down. The company has the potential to go, right? Trip is certainly on the map, and they've made a lot of noise, right? And if you get into the captain wheel of the ship, you can steer it through the stormy seas and make a ton of money, Taha. But the moment you choose people like that to be the face, the front for your company, you burn all bridges. You have lost the entire rideshare community. You've lost the Kevins, you have lost the Dustins, you have lost the Geos, you have lost the Torstens. When you go out there and trash, just go and do yourself a favor, Taha. Go to the Gregory Padril channel and see what he's doing to a small startup like Goat, right? Where drivers are actually trying with minimal money, with my money, with other people's money, to try and build a company. Not go out there and use the Gregory Padril channels to reel them in. You're making a fatal mistake by associating yourself with the Gregory Padrils of this world. It'll bring your company down, right? And if you say the concerns are valid, again, you see, that's when I regain respect from you and actually allow you to come on the channel, right? I would invite Taha from Trip to my live feed where he can say, hey, here's this app, this is what we're working on, this is what we're gonna be improving in the next 2 months. We were supposed to launch in August. We didn't launch. Couple of corrections. There is no problem for companies and people admitting to mistakes, right? That builds up more credibility. That shows that you're more real. That shows that you have feelings for others. Like, hey, we screwed up here, but we're going to correct it like this, right? But when you're going out there and you're trying to sell a soap story, when you're trying to attack all of these people that I care about. I care about Rideshare Peterson. You brought him in to sell your story, right? He's on board with you. You've got him, right? You don't have me. You don't have a lot of the other Rideshare YouTubers that should be really pushing your name. that you should be able to come onto our shows and say, hey, Kevin, look at the updates that we have, right? Geo, look at what we're working on. Torsten, how's this? We just did this last month. I'm willing to back you all day long. Alfredo Romero in the house. Good to see your name, my friend. Monchi 702. Is Trip transparent? To me, Trip is not transparent yet, right? I would say they'd have to do certain things to their business model and get rid of certain individuals that are bringing their company down and giving them a bad name, starting with the Gregory Padrilles. Dustin is driving, will not even spend a second talking about this Trip year since nobody is making money with Trip. I get it, right? And I understand his position. It maybe I understand Dustin's position that he'd rather play it safe and not attack Trip or not hold up the mirror. I get it. I respect Dustin for that, right? But, you know, here I am building a company, GOAT, again, with minimal resources, with private investors, not going out and getting elaborate investors, right? I don't want to be owned by venture capitalists, right? But we grassroots starting a scheduling platform, right? And then you immediately have one of the main representatives of Trip slander, defame, and trash a company that he knows nothing about, right? Of course, you're going to react to that. I got to protect my territory, got to protect my name, my reputation, right? And I think the best thing that Taha, McNulty, Motta, Bishop, the captains of that ship could do is take a step back, have a meeting and say, which viruses, which toxic individuals do we need to cut from our company and chop them, right? I've done it before and it works, right? When you take that eagle approach and you say, who is trying to bring the company down? Out, right? Work with the people, incentivize the people, reward the people that want to steer the ship forward, right? Not crash into some pier. Well, invite me down, Taha. I'll come down or come up to LA. Do a feed, share with us where you are. So, you know, Taha, Basi, good to have you. Thank you for showing up in this feed and actually clarifying for people what they need to know, right? Versus having trash talkers out there. Because it's the trash talkers us drivers react very, very allergically to, right? So, you know, we just like you trying to build something there with Trip, we're trying to build something as well. But I don't need a monkey to come and start pissing on my business model, right? When he knows nothing about me. And like I said, guys like Gregory Padrille in South Africa would not last 4 weeks if they were residing there and doing what they're doing. It wouldn't last 4 weeks. I will. I appreciate that. I will send you my info and I'll more than gladly meet with you. He was kind enough to put his email there. Thank you. Taha at Trip Rides. Absolutely. My argument would be for Taha and just say, hey, here's the honest story. It was our intention to launch in the beginning of 2019. It was our intention to have a fully functioning model out by August, but there were certain setbacks. And until we've addressed those from a technological point and fixed those and can show you, and you're welcome onto the show, this is what the rider app does, this is what the driver app does, this is why we're different, right? This is our team, this is our legal team, this is our insurance, this is our PR team. I am the main guy, Taha, behind the technical team. You get all the credibility in the world. And people like myself, the Kevins and that, I'm sure we would welcome you on the show. So I look forward hearing it from the individual directly. I don't want to be on the sidelines attacking you over a degree. People come to me and say, well, he doesn't have this Harvard degree, and he, pretends to be someone, this Taha pretends to be someone that he isn't. But, let me take a step back. Okay. I'm not going to judge you for a Harvard or a non-Harvard degree. I just want to see what you're capable of doing, right? Or maybe show me where you are right now with your app, right? And show me where you're going, right? And let us support you. Let us help you. Let us build bridges. Let's make this succeed. If anything we need, if that nomad succeeds, right, that startup, nomads invited onto my channel, the ones that were highlighted in Forbes, come onto the channel and tell us why you are different to Uber and Lyft, right? Come and help us also succeed and get Trip on the map, because you cannot have a monopoly of Uber and Lyft dictating and telling drivers what you need. The nomads, you need the Trips, you need the goats in the field chipping away at the heels of Uber and Lyft so that they change their attitude. I'm sure people will agree with me. Competition here would quickly make Lyft and Uber pull up their socks and say, hang on, we have some legitimate players in the field now. We need to act decent. We can't just go on this rampant, crazy $200,000 balloon lifestyle. Doesn't work. So Love and Light says, thank you, Taha. I'm going to say as well, thank you, Taha, for coming on here and setting the record straight. If that is what I appreciate most in a human being, is actually, hey, you know what, having the courage to come on and say, hey, listen, I don't like the way. And I'll protect Kevin all day long because he's a friend and I care about him. Taha, please have a word with this Gregory Padril. And again, you know my advice. Cut him off. Get rid of the virus. Cut out the cancer, right? When you have a guy like Gregory Padril mocking Kevin and saying, oh, little chubby cheeks, fuck you, man. Who you? Are you better, Gregory Padril? That you got to go out there and insult a human being that has built a following and in a few months is going to surpass your following? Fuck you, Gregory Padril, for insulting people like Kevin. I know Kevin, right? And he's a sweetheart of a human being. He has the best intentions, and I can tell you, he doesn't go around screwing over people, right? And I have to back anyone in the long run. If I was asked, would I back this horse or that I back this horse? I will back the Kevin horse all day long before I would even remotely look like or look at a fool like Padril. Because you're nothing. You're absolute trashing people, and you do not have the right to do so. And I had to put it out there. Kevin is a real good guy. Kevin is an amazing individual. And it is disgusting for anyone to point fingers, oh, he's fat or fat shaming or whatever shaming, right? Oh, you are Mr. Perfect in this world? Bullshit. Taha, I would reel that motherfucker up in all day long, right? And say to it, stop. You're damaging our company. You're damaging our brand. And cut that cancer out your company, right? To go on and make those vile comments about individuals, it's disgusting. And Kevin, keep your videos coming, because very soon you're going to surpass that guy's base. Very, very soon. And I wonder who's going to have the last laugh. Deals Doc, I don't know why you listen to this guy, Gregory. You know why I want to expose him, Deals Doc? Because he's out there trashing good individuals. He's trashing companies, and he has nothing to show himself, right? That is why we're exposing him here. That is why I'm bringing this individual to the attention of Trip, because he's a cancer in their liver. He's a cancer in their kidneys, right? He's a cancer in their lungs, this individual, right? 100% I am. 100% I am, let him know. It's better to speak passionately than swallow your emotions and pretend that everything is right. Go out there and speak the truth. Talk about it, right? and Taha to reach out to Kevin. See, that's how you build bridges. Who the hell is Kevin? Come on, Uber Eats Pro. Don't pretend that you don't know who Kevin is. Apptrepreneur. John Bauer, Gregory gonna get the boxing gloves. Gregory can put the boxing gloves on all day long. All day long. The smartest move that Trip can make is disconnect and come out and say we have no affiliation with Gregory Padril and cut all ties, cut his codes. That's it. That is how you're going to start getting credibility out here. I think that guy has done so much damage to your brand, and his intention is doing so much damage to other brands that it creates a very, very unhealthy and toxic environment, right? And Taha, if you want to know why YouTubers do not want to come onto that show, when Gregory Padril goes out and insults and slanders and defames all these individuals, who would want to come onto your show and talk Trip with you, right? If you're associating yourself, the best thing that you can do. And I look forward to meeting you. That's good. Will do. Well, thank you, Deals Doc. I agree with you 100%. John Bauer. Hey. Juan Garcia's in the house. How are you, my friend? Please leave a message. This topic went complete south, right? It was my intention, and for this I will apologize. It was my intention to make this topic today about you, about the rideshare topics you care about. And what I did is I went off on a Trip tangent. It's a future video that I'd like to bring out based on 90 days of research done in Florida by a real individual at the show, at the launch, etc. I should have kept that video for a separate date. So what I did is I mixed apples and oranges and I spoke about Trip today. But I'm glad we got it out there, right? I'm glad there's some form of release, right? That people got to vent, that I got to vent, because this has been building up, right? And the truth is, what are the rideshare topics that you are interested about? What are the topics that we should cover in the future? Is it earnings? Is it the company? Is it future possibilities? Is it building out your own company, your own fleet? You know, for coming up with good topics, I have a few $1,000s worth from my sponsor, Next Base. All the different cameras, they sent me the entire line, plus many, many giveaways. They were extremely, extremely generous, extremely generous. Great, great book filled with a lot of good information. And it's the Series 2 2019 launch. I'd like to help them with this launch. And I will be making separate videos about the different models, about the different cameras, modules, tiny little this is a cabin module, right? So they have little modules that fit in. I will be making several videos about this, and I'll also be using some giveaways. Send me good suggestions, right? The suggestions that we choose will be the suggestions that we reward. End of story. Rideshare confessions. Professor, I reached out to Business Rocket, waiting to hear back. Why don't you text or email me your details quickly, Rideshare confessions, and I will send them over to him personally. And just tell me in one sentence what you want to achieve there. Is it the TCP? Is it forming a company? Is it taxes? What is it? I'd like to help speed that up, accelerate that for you. Uber Eats Pro, Professor, your videos put money in my pocket. Kevin, others don't. That's fine, and I'm glad it puts money in your pocket. Kevin is more an informational channel, right? Where he talks about different apps, different gig economies, different opportunities. And then the people that I think that more like zone in on rideshare or zone in on food deliveries will then customize the approach and show you the ways to make the money, right? There's many good YouTubers out there, the Dustins, the Geos, all those people. Give me 1 second. Hello?
您有一份重要快件，派送多次均无人签收，这是最后一次通知。如有意见或疑问，请按9转客户服务中心。如有意见或疑问，请按9转客户服务中心。
Yes, I agree with you, whatever you say.
您好，这里是 UPS 国际快递公司，提醒您，您有一份重要快件，派送多次均无人签收。这是最后一次通知，如有意见或疑问，请按9转客户服务中心。如有意见或疑问，请按9转客户服务中心。
Okay, respectfully, I didn't understand a word. Would you be so kind and translate all of that into English for me, please? And now they left. I didn't understand a single word. You're a translator out there. Please translate for me. I've never had a call like that. What is that? That's funny. A live session with the goat staffers. Dude, that'd be great if I could speak Mandarin or Chinese or I don't know what language it is. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I did not understand a single word, right? So is there any translator in the house? That was interesting. Do you want to join Uber? Shanghai. A little bit of humor, but I took that unknown call, and it was some solicitation for God knows what. I have no idea. Maybe they were swearing at me. Maybe it was some girl trying to marry me. Who knows? I have no idea what the content of that call was, but I thought it was quite funny. Someone trying to hack you, bro. Okay, well, let them hack away. Hack attack. Content. Taking the longer route with same time driven based on upfront pricing. Better for driver, same for rider. I like that. I like that. Journey with Jordan says probably just someone from the IRS needing you to send them Bitcoin. San Diego rideshare, bro. It's funny. That was a funny one, wasn't it? Oh, somebody had, Michael DeLong says he's had that call before. I just want somebody to translate. I am so freaking curious now. I should have taped that. Should have recorded that. What were they saying? What were they selling? Mark Roughton's in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Oh, thank you for answering, by the way. You agreed to a mail order bride and all the data we could steal during the length of our conversation. That's nice. I look forward to getting the mail order bride. when she arrives. Yeah. That's funny. Let's roll, Tina. That was a good one, man. That was a really, really good one. That made me laugh. So send me topics, guys. Send me topics. I got to rock and roll. Trying to get another little mechanic office going in Long Beach, helping some people out. So I'm going to be going down there, meeting with them, see if I can invest into that. Tara says, I hope it wasn't a trip, get rich quick scheme. Good. You got great humor. So keep it coming. I'll shoot you an email. We'll get together. Thank you. Yes, Taha Bassi is the trip CTO, and he was kind enough to come on the show and kind enough to reach out to Kevin, kind enough to reach out to me, and wants to talk to us. Absolutely. We're not denying any voices. We just don't want people spreading toxic misinformation, right? Not saying that he is, but they have an individual working for them who is definitely spreading a lot of toxins. Topics, how about to deal with entitled passengers? Oof, don't we love that? Entitled passengers. I'm paying, and it should be my way. I should get what I'm paying for. Well, firstly, you're not paying as much, right? You think you are. You're paying quite a bit, but by the way, Uber and Lyft is taking the majority of that. And for the little money that's left over for us, dear passenger, why do you now feel like you have to be entitled? Good topic. I like that. How about how to deal with entitled passengers? That was a good one. I like that. I think there have been good videos made about that. But it is amazing, especially the people that spend the least expect the most. Not the other way around, strangely, in life, right? The people that spend the most are not often, making entitlements on you. Journey with Jordan shares with us. She says, I was berated by 4 entitled millennials yesterday, all for $3. No tip, shocker. I would say it depends to what degree you were berated, because it's like a restaurant owner. You have the rights to kick the client out of the restaurant, right? You have the right. This is your car, your office, and you're not going to be belittled, shouted at by 4 entitled passengers. It ends right there. Ride it up, send it over to Uber and Lyft, and let the chips fall where they fall, right? But no driver, Journey with Jordan, should ever be subjected to that. And I don't know the content of that trip, but it doesn't sound like you were happy. George Schneider says, entitled passengers, get them to the destination and leave them a 1-star. You will never be matched with them again. Now that, my friend, is good information from a guy who has 10,900 rides. The guy knows what he's talking about, right? So that's how George handles that one. And after giving 10,900 rides, way more than double than I've ever made, right? I'm talking Uber and Lyft combined. Don't even have half of that. So he knows what he's talking about. And give him a 1-star. That's it. You'll never be matched with him again. I like that. Japanese. So do you think it was Japanese or Chinese when that person just called me early on? Anybody have credible information that was Japanese or Chinese? It sounded beautiful. Lyft matched me with the last that I gave 3 stars, and then she paid me back. That's cool. 5-5. Yes, I give him a 1 star. They even had the audacity to ask me to wait at the hotel while they got their bags and then take them to the airport. It was surging, and I told them, no, get out, bye. So you drop them off at the hotel and you try to continue your next trip, right? Do I get that right? But oh, I see. So they just ask you to wait there. Doesn't work that way. Yeah, I just wish the two could get along, the United States and China. I just wish they could get along. No reason to start crazy wars. No reason to have two individuals testing whose ego is bigger. Uber Eats Pro, why are you pissed? Do share. Why are you upset? $10,400 rides, rideshare confessions. Awesome. That's right up there. Gosh, it's insanely hot today. I wouldn't even want to know what the temperature is. Uber support. John Bowen has another one for us. He says, content, when to use hazards? Do you flip around before pickup? Do you drop in spots that can get you a ticket or at a stoplight? Yeah, I mean, how do you guys handle that one? Everyone's been in that situation. I got myself into one of those situations and then was in an illegal spot and whoop, in Manhattan beach, right at the beginning by the beach. Cops pulled over, gave me a nice fine. Cops very often look for that pink Lyft beacon or Uber sticker. They know they can possibly collect, right? I like how hazard lights are an understood rideshare tool, even though it's never mentioned in either app procedure. That's so true. Turn your hazards on before coming to a complete stop. I do that. I like that. Oh, I see the 1 star you got. I get it, Uber Eats Pro. I would be upset as well. It's called retaliation. Somebody retaliated or try to get back at you. All right. We're getting to the 1 hour 30. I don't know. I feel like this live session has been very productive, and I tell you why. Firstly, I feel good talking about everything that I did, right? Especially when it comes to trip. I feel really good about the fact that Taha Abbasi, one of the trip guys, the CTO, Chief Technical Officer, came onto our feed and did a lot of good things. You know, apologized to Kevin and hasn't taken responsibility or said that he would cut off the most cancerous part of their company, namely Gregory Padril. But, you know, I've given him food for thought. But I thought that was a really productive session. And although it was my intention to start off with saying, hey, what are the rideshare topics that interest you? which we're talking more about right now, which is great. Sadly, this is coming all the good stuff is coming right at the end. You guys had to listen to me rant about Trip for over an hour. Thank you for putting up with me and allowing me to express myself about Trip. I appreciate you guys hanging in. But good stuff is coming right here. Content, John Bauer's coming out with a lot of good points. So are the others. Michael, rider enters wrong pickup location and asks you to go to them. Rider doesn't add stops, but wants to deviate from the normal route. That is a good one. Rider doesn't add stops, wants to deviate from the normal route. That is a good topic that we need to talk about. Is this safe or prime? Is this safe or prime or a scam? How to avoid this? Dude, you're on fire today, John. John Bauer is on fuego. Tons of good topics there, my friend. I like that one that you mentioned, though, there. Right. The rider doesn't add stops, but wants to deviate from the normal route. A lot of people have run into that one. Content, again, Bauer, Fuego Man. When does Uber not follow through with their own policies or promises, i.e. extending the ride after pickup when rider wants to go further? Hard to get Uber to adjust fare on this. That's a big one. Hard for the time that you have to spend to get your money, your adjustment back. Good video, right? Why do I have to spend all this additional time? I tell you why. It's because it's principle. I'm that type of guy. Screw me over $5, I'll come after the $5. It's principle, and I may have spent $50 in time trying to get $5, but it's a matter of principle, right? How do you feel about that? San Diego Rideshare Pro topic from Thomas Gibson in the house. How do you handle passengers that have one of the 4 people sit in your car, then make you wait for the other 3 to show up? Ooh la la, I like that one. I like it, Thomas. Extending after drop. Yes, I send 15 messages to get $5. You see, you like me. Principle. I'm a person of principle. I will chase the $5 to make a point. Journey with Jordan shares, I hate it when one passenger leaves the car door wide open while waiting on friends. Get in or out. Stop wasting my AC and letting bugs in. Very, very good point. I hate it when people slam the door. Got to be, I think, one of my biggest peeves. Ooh. Why do they believe that they have to slam it so hard, so loud that almost your window breaks? I'm like, wow. Joey Driver for you Idahos in the house. Kiddos went back to school today. Awesome. So I was awake anyway and decided to leave at 4:30. Did 5 Lyft rides in 3 hours, $50, even with the new rates here. Okay, good. You happy, buddy? I'm happy. Cool, Joey. Thank you for sharing, my friend. Yeah, can you believe that? They slam it so hard that the window almost breaks. Michael DeLong, I guess that question was for Joey. How many miles? Has anybody done the dead miles versus productive miles calculation? What is the ratio? Do you have a ratio after 1 week? You know what I like about this 522? It's got several. It has Alexa built in. It has Alexa built in, folks. I'm not kidding you. Here it is. This thing is one sexy dash cam, the 522 GW, top of their line. I'm going to be doing a video on that. Larger screen, emergency SOS. I like it. Bluetooth. A lot of good stuff. Next space, I like your new generation of dash cams. I really do. And I will make some really cool videos for you. Trip is going to pay you 40 cents for every time someone slams your door. Jesus. Make money quickly. 10 slams, $4. 1 month, $120. Las Vegas Uber driver. Good branding. Lots of Lyft drivers quitting in Vegas. Yep, I heard. Going back to driving taxi. The taxi company has got $500 sign-on bonuses, and some are even paying for your gas. Very smart of the taxi companies. Very smart. Very smart. Michael DeLong, did you have to talk to support today? Was your car ready to drive clean? Did it take you any time to get ready? Nice. Let's roll. Tina, live chat with the Go team. I like that. I got to round up Brian and the folks. Let's do that. Nice. I like that, Tina. Monchi's 702. Yeah, Lyft is not doing great in Vegas. And then I had a guy called Tour Las Vegas 80 lash out at me yesterday, and he was like, oh, there's way too many Uber drivers. You want to know where all those new Uber drivers are coming from? Buddy, not from me recruiting there. You know, I can't change or influence the market, but by Lyft people leaving Lyft and going to Uber, right? So yeah, now suddenly the Uber pool of drivers in Vegas is becoming bigger. And I think Lyft shot themselves in the foot in that market. Maybe even Phoenix, maybe even Boise, right? Because those rates, I wouldn't drive for those rates. Let him know boxing, good stuff. Rideshare professor, God bless. I'm with you. Listen, I want that Taha to come on my show. I want to do a live feed with him, right? But only once they've cut the cancer out their company, the cancerous one. Stopping bus stops are a $200 fine. I haven't got one of those. Interesting. Rideshare Confession says, I picked up a so-called IT app guy on Sunday. He said rates will be going up soon for riders. Oh, that, no doubt about that. Garcia Bowie in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Seen your face before. Great show. Power. Love it. Love that icon. Love it. I saw a great movie, folks, on the weekend, one that I didn't see. Has anybody seen Green Door? Loved it. It's about a driver, right? About that Italian driver and the African-American Russian piano virtuoso. Beautiful movie. Beautiful relationship that was formed in that car. Really, really thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Didn't like the treatment that they received in certain states. It was horrible to see that. But the bond that this driver, this white driver and this African-American pianist had, amazing. Green Door. You know, am I right in saying that, Green Door? Is that right? Is that what the movie's called? That Viggo Mortensen, and then the other guy, he's good. What's his name? I don't know. I'm not big on actors' names. Tommy's in the house. Rock on, my friend. How are you? Good to see you. I like it. Tommy. Oh, Tommy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Green Book. What am I saying, Torsten? Green Book, not Green Door. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Jeez, I couldn't even get that right. Green Book. Ay, caramba. Maybe I haven't had my coffee yet. Green Book. Great movie. Relationship between passenger and driver. Awesome book. That's it. That's it, Brian. Brian's got it. Green Book. Viggo Mortensen, Tony Lip, Mahershala Ali, Dr. Donald Shirley. That's the one. Thank you, Brian. Brian saved the day. Actually, somebody else, Sean, also saved the day because he said Green Book. I misled everyone with the Green Door. I think there is a Green Door, a restaurant in LA down in Hollywood. Yeah, the Green Book showed places friendly to African Americans. It's just sad that African American people had to go to their own hotel and they had to look at a book, Green Book, to see where they were welcome. It's wrong. And trust me, folks, I saw that firsthand probably in the most harshest form as a child, as a teenager, growing up in South Africa. Awful how people were treating the citizens that actually owned the country, right? So things need to change, get better. Bridges need to be built. People could truly learn so much from watching that book, that movie, Green Book. I love the final line when the driver, that Italian dude, Lip, whatever his name is, Tony Lip. Thank you, Brian. When his wife goes and hugs the African gentleman at the door and says, "Thank you for teaching him how to write letters." It's just classic. I don't know if you remember that line. Torsten, do you consider yourself African American? So let me. It's a good, very, very good question, and I want to answer that truly. So, by birth, I'm born in Georgetown Hospital in Washington, D.C. So I have a United States passport. My first 2 years as a baby, what do I know? No impressions, nothing, right? Live in Washington, D.C., Dallas, and I think we were in Fort Lauderdale for a few years, let's say. So I leave at the age of 3, and I'm constantly 4 or 5 years in a different country, of which I should say the majority of the time when moving around, I spent the majority of the time, I think a total of 12 to 15 years in South Africa. So child forming years as a teenager, experiences, experiential learning, definitely South Africa. Do I consider myself African American? Yeah, I would say American American. I like it. I'll wear that badge proudly, right? But I got a lot of Euro in there. You know, I spent on and off in 17 years in different European countries. Germany, England, Holland, and that's mainly due to my father's profession, who was a political advisor to several heads of state, right? And an author. I think my dad wrote 14 books. Dad died way too young, died at the age of 49, my good father. Tall guy, big guy, 6'5", pro rower, pro volleyball player, a crazy sportsman, but great guy. Professor, Doctor, 3 titles. Professor, Doctor. Yeah, so I like that question, and I appreciate you asking that. Uber Eats journey with Jordan drove 2 guys from South Africa last week. Oh, cool. Good. I hope it went well. I hope they behaved. Oh, wow. John Bauer says, my father was banned from the Olympics for wrestling way back for going to South Africa to protest apartheid. That's cool. Dad's a character, man. I like that. Yeah, and then I think the most three most interesting years of my life after the army. I was in the South African army as well. After that, I got to work for the Mandela family for 3 years. I would say those are probably the most 3 interesting years of my life. I didn't make a salary, it was all non-profit. But I traveled around, I met politicians, I met business people, did a lot of traveling. Europe, Africa, all throughout the United States in those 3 years. It was amazing. It was just truly, truly amazing. That would be a nice one, yes. James Campbell, I can, and I have a lot of good photos. That's a nice, I don't know if that would fit into the Rideshare. I could probably make a separate video for you, James, or anyone that is interested, and then put that maybe on my private channel and put a link there. Yeah. So maybe what I'll talk about there is how was my bridge relationship formed with that family? How did I get the trust from that family? What did I do? And how is the Mandela family set up? Now, Winnie and Nelson Mandela had a few kids. One of the kids died, sadly. Winnie Mandela was known as the radical arm, the muscle. She was also a student of my father at Witwatersrand University in Johannesburg. She took international relations. My father failed her as a student because she was not a great student. My father got a lot of threats, death threats, because of that from her following. And Nelson Mandela was completely the opposite. He was the lover, he was the diplomat, he was the bridge builder. And when Nelson Mandela was released from prison, and one of the best books I have read, Long Walk to Freedom, where he talks about the 27 years that he spent on Robben Island prison, what he did there, working through that prison cell with the outside world. Fascinating story told by him. And then, you know, his radical fighting wife on the outside. Well, the bottom line is when Frederick de Klerk released Nelson Mandela from prison, right? Both Frederick de Klerk, the white leader at that time, as well as Nelson Mandela received the Nobel Freedom Prize, right? And now Nelson Mandela was immediately voted in as president because it was one man, one vote. They allowed for the very first time the South African Africans to vote. So the ANC came into power. Their leader was Nelson Mandela. Very shortly after that, Nelson Mandela divorced his wife. Now, they also had 2 daughters, Zinzi and Zindiwe Mandela. Zindiwe Mandela was very much like the mother and went with the mother. The other one was very much like a lover, a peaceful diplomat, and went with her father. So it's just sad to sort of see that those daughters sort of went different ways. The one daughter married Prince Dlamini of Swaziland, built a very, very successful business empire, had many kids. Both daughters had many kids. One of the grandchildren of Nelson Mandela became a very, very good friend of mine, very young guy, ZZ Dlamini. I believe he's also shooting for a position in the United Nations. He's very much like his grandfather, like Nelson Mandela. And what I did in the army, in the South African army, was there was a think tank, or more like a little competition by the army for suggestions, for ideas that would bring or create better relationships between the Africans who lived in these townships, in these ghettos, right? And then the South African white army. That was just pure white, right? They were just all white soldiers. And there was a lot of hatred and anger towards each other. And there were times where there was necklacing and killings and attacks and bombing and explosive and limpet mines and so it was like Israel Palestine, right? And things needed to be done. So they were requesting ideas, suggestions from soldiers, from white soldiers, from juniors like myself. And then I said, hey, the conditions of these slums and that they're atrocious. They're filled with dirt, with trash. We need to make, my proposal was we need to go in and start cleaning up and giving them a clean environment to live in. And the way we should do this was empower the little kids, the little African kids, work with them, helping, fill up, get involved with your own two hands, help them fill up refuse bags of trash. And for every filled up trash bag that you're helping them fill up, getting this dirt, this muck, this trash, this plastic into these things, filling it up, let's reward them with a toy, with a puzzle, with a book, anything that's educational, right, that you can learn from, because the whites had deprived the South African children of their education. And I felt like my father always told me, you've got to give them their education back. So I used that as a tool, as an incentive, as an inspiration in that proposal. And so the way you get money, obviously, is through companies and sponsorships. And I was very well versed at that because I'd done a lot of concerts, laser shows, rave events. I knew how to get sponsors. I knew how to get the Absolute Vodkas, the Red Bulls, the Adidas. I knew how to get sponsorship money at a very, very young age. So I said, hey, let's go out there as the army, telling corporate, more white South Africa what we can do in these townships and how we can build these bridges, right? So I was called in by a General Ginsburg. What is his first name? General Basil Ginsburg, Jewish, white, South African general. And he said, I love your idea. I love your idea. Can you put maybe a task team of 10 people together? I just love this, and this is going to work. And we're going to get a manufacturing company. We're going to produce the toys. We're going to get the books. We're going to get this, the sponsors for the books, and we're going to appeal to the corporates of Thomas. Thank you, of South Africa to put money into this. And it became a very, very successful campaign. I think in the first 6 months we raised over 25 million. Companies were putting in money. We were then going out with trucks and trucks of soldiers into these townships: Soweto, Khayelitsha, Gugulethu, Nyanga, Langa, all of these different townships, Cape Town, Johannesburg, and cleaning up, empowering the kids, giving them gifts, rewarding them, giving them books, filling up refuse bags, trucking out the trash in army trucks, right? And I would coordinate all these cleanup events. I would, as a second lieutenant, 2 pips, would go in, meet with CEOs at a very, very young age, 21, and say, hey, we need money. We need money. We can do this. Here's the media. Here's the press. Thank you, John Bauer. Appreciate you. Here's the press that we are getting. It was an easy sale for me once people could see the results, and the money just kept coming, and the money. Now, this was supposed to be a pilot, 6 to 12 months. They extended it to 2 years. They even asked me to stay a little bit longer, and I did. I overstayed my army time, right? I could have said, hey, I'm gone. And it was so rewarding. I can't even tell you what it did. What it did for the esteem of the people, what it did for the joy and the happiness of the kids, seeing books for the first time. It was amazing. And we were just getting front covers on the Citizen newspaper. We were getting front covers on the Sowetan. We were getting front covers on the Star newspaper. We were all over the media. And what happened is that the Mandela family had seen this, read about this, wanted to meet the people behind this. And that's how I got to meet these people. And proudly share what we had achieved in 2 years. And they said, your intentions are pure, your intentions are good. This is a non-profit, but the world will open up to you as far as travels, and I traveled a lot already. So, I mean, I'd seen the world thanks to my parents, but I thought, wow, what a great opportunity now. I could work for this family, go out there. And we did this project with a senator in Texas, endorsed by the highest people in the country, in the US. And it was called America Reads, Africa Reads. And we came over here and we collected 5 million books, education books that they were kicking out the system, that they were going to burn anyway. We shipped them to the 14 Southern African countries. We got companies to sponsor money to build mini schools out of 40-foot shipping containers that we converted into mini schools with windows, air conditionings, chalkboards, tables, stuff that these people never, ever had seen or dreamt about in rural, mountainous areas, in little villages. They'd never seen that. So we, helicopters would drop them off, is what the South African army had Antonov. I think the Russian helicopters would drop these 40-foot containers off, little mini schools, and we started building little educational centers, putting books in there, getting the kids pumped up. So I have pictures about that, I have pictures on that. And beautiful, beautiful time of my life. Made some relationships with senators that I still have today, right? A guy that I could easily bring on to my channel and maybe do a live feed with him, with one of the US senators, and going back in time, what we did there. And, Rodney Ellis, Senator Rodney Ellis, who's in Houston, Texas right now, he's been to Africa many, many times. Took him on safari, showed him Africa, showed him African art, and he started buying African art. He actually opened up a gallery in Houston, Texas, for African art. And my relationship with this gentleman is 26 years. It started in those times. Rodney would go with us out to these schools. They would sing for him. The powerful stuff, my friends. Transformational, beautiful. And kids, kids were involved. No money. Of course, the money had to come from sponsors and companies, but they got their credits back in form of goodwill, in form of branding. These companies all gave, the Fords, the Toyotas, the Siemens, the banks, the insurance companies. They just poured money into this. Yep, that's it. But I can elaborate so much more on that because there's just so much good stuff there, so much good material. So Gio and Gregory are going at it right now. Boom! Gio, hit him down, knock him down. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I got to watch this. Beautiful. Gregory, put him to the ropes, my friend. Show the kid. Oh my God, who's doing the live feed? Who is doing the live feed? I love it. Gio and Gregory are going at it right now. It's because Gregory is destroying the Trip brand, right? And you guys, if you think Trip, this is a good way to get your name out there, it's not. Gio is ripping his ass open, right? I just ripped his ass open for an hour and held the mirror up. But so Gregory is doing the live feed. Good, let's see it. I should jump in there. I should jump into that one. Let's see if this is live. Is it live? Let's see. You know what? I like that idea. James says, can you put the live?
Look at him crying. Look at him crying. Look at him having a breakdown. Lyft is abusing its own drivers. It's Thursday. All right, guys.
Oh, great. That's a good one. Let's see.
Hold on, so we can hear. Damn, hold on. Let me go somewhere quiet. So yesterday in the video, I asked you to email me comparisons between the old Lyft rates for economy and the new Lyft. Hold on, let's see. After restructuring. They're not telling you anything, but this is what they're doing to you. Oh, man. This is the message Lyft is sending to drivers all over the country. But they're doing it with a mix. You need a shave, buddy. Hi, drivers.
So he's now attacking the appearance of Geo and telling Geo to shave. You see, this is a sign of a very insecure individual, this Padril guy, right? I can't, not having luck there.
This is absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Let's see. Oh, look, he's still promoting. Still promoting. Damn. No, there are.
Yeah, dude, now it's free for all, dude. Brawl. Full on brawl. That's what Padril likes doing. You know, he likes taking pieces of other drivers' feeds and putting them into his feeds. He has nothing to contribute. He just rides on other people. Right, that's him there. Serial con artist.
I didn't see it.
There he is. That's him.
Oh, man.
You're looking at him there. That's the cancer that Trip needs to remove if they want to be successful. It's all he can do.
Rideshare Road Rage. That's a good name. It should be Rideshare Road Rage.
Never given a trip. Pretends to live the life. Takes pictures with Lamborghinis. Never owned one. And promotes one money-making opportunity after the other. But if you look at the companies that this guy has promoted, he has a lot of people after him. And like I say, in South Africa, this guy wouldn't last 4 minutes. 4 weeks. Attacking the Kevins, the looks of Kevin, attacking the looks of Geo, Look at him. Taha, you need to get rid of this guy, dude. This is the problem. Cut him off. And Taha, you're going to get rid of all those attacks on GOAT. He's going to take them all down and clean up. If you don't want a lawsuit from somebody, from multiple people against Trip, you have to remove the cancer. This is your #1 cancer right there. Antagonizing everyone to get publicity for himself, but damaging the image of Trip. Damaging. This guy is your biggest problem. And when I look at cancers or viruses in a company, you have to remove them. You have to make a decision. If the CEO is Bob McNulty, he has to make a decision. If Taha is the CTO of the company, he has to make a decision. This here is your problem right there. Is your cancer in your liver, is your cancer in the lungs of Trip. This guy there. No degree, wanted by everyone, scammed insane amount of people. You got to cut him off. You can say, we make a video, we absolutely not associated with this person, cut his code, and send him a cease and desist that he removes all slandering and defaming videos that could get Trip into a lot of trouble. And if people would join forces on the slandering that Gregory Padril has done under the umbrella of Trip, it would be a class action suit against Padril and against Trip. Mark my words. I'll gladly fund that. But the way you clean up ship, Taha, is to move the virus, the cancer. Right? You got to take action, my friend. You got to show that you are an executive of the company that can. I would remove this guy yesterday. This guy, the moment he's on my radar doing damage to my company Trip, is the moment I cut him off. Sorry, we're not associated with this fool, right? But they have him there at the Miami event. They have him pissing off everyone, right? Showing videos, and this guy writing messages on Geo, writing messages of Kevin, writing messages on GOAT in Ripoff Report. He sets up these slanderous centers, right? And then glorifies himself. Not admitting, not being truthful that he is actually the cancer. This is the Trip cancer right there. And his name's Gregory Padril. And the moment, the quicker Taha and Bob McNulty send him to the surgery room and remove that cancer from Trip, they will succeed. And I will put my weight behind that company. But by slandering, defaming, talking about the looks, it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Yeah, I'll send you many links on how your little Gregory Padril boy has slandered GOAT. Doesn't know me. Doesn't know me as an individual. Doesn't know my history. Doesn't know what I've done. But will set up fictitious defame. He would get Trip into so much trouble, so much legal trouble, that you would be spending your money on good things, defending yourself. And, you know, I myself and others haven't acted yet, and nor do I want to get into a pissing fight or a lawsuit with Trip. I don't want to. But Gregory Padril would give me the reason. He would. Yeah, you know what? He needs to remove everything. Everything on Kevin. Got to start clean, Taha. I did a video the other day. Let me tell you how diplomacy works. I did a video where certain individuals were getting physical threats. The people that were getting the threats were Peterson, Paula, myself, and I reached out to the people that were making the threats. And you know what? We resolved everything peacefully. We're in a good place. They took it all down. We're getting on, and it's working. And I want to see every video removed on GOAT, every video removed on Kevin, every video removed on Geo, or all the trash talking by Gregory Padril, all off the channels, so you can start fresh, so you can have our support. And then I will make the calls to Kevin, I will make the calls to the Dustins and say, hey, maybe there is a way we could work with Trip and make this succeed, but not with this baboon on board. No, this guy is just hopping from tree to tree and insulting everyone, and I will not stand for it. Thank you, Taha, for taking control of that. Monchi 702, we will ultimately get along, but this has to be hashed out, my friend. This is not the people. If your name is attacked all over the internet, Monchis, and you're trying to do something good, and you're trying to build something, you will speak up, either in form of a lawsuit, or you will speak up in your channel. And today we are speaking up. I'm speaking up for the Kevins. I'm speaking up for the Geos. I'm speaking up for the Dustins. I'm speaking up for the GOAT. I'm speaking up for Torsten. And I would like to build this bridge to Taha and their team and work together, but not before. And there it is. We're streaming, and what does he do again? He goes and attacks Geo. This is the classic 101, right? And it does not help the Trip brand at all. Quite the opposite. So it has to be said. You got to put this out there, right? And when the dust settles and you can get along and you can build, that's good. But you know, sometimes you got to perform surgery, right? You got to cut out the cancer. You got to remove the problem. Nice. Well, yeah, but good. I mean, this is the step in the right direction, Taha. There's a lot that can be discussed. There's a lot that can be taken in the right direction, right? A Trip should not be going one step forward and 2 steps back. You know, change that ratio. Trips should be taking 3 steps forward and 0 steps back. But I feel that when you have a spokesperson who deliberately, for himself, just for his own channel, for his own viewers, for his own glory, to feed his own ego, he has to go out and attack all of these individuals, right? Taking the Trip brand down with him. These people, I know myself, I know Geo from the personality. Do you think we're gonna like take that? No. Natural born fighters, my friend. We will bring it. We will bring it. And if you think that Geo, after watching today's video, so that's why I say, Taha, you go in there and he's got to remove everything, because Geo will retaliate. Geo will shred Trip. You know, you and I, we can meet and hash this out like gentlemen. I don't know you, so I can't judge you, right? All I hear is other people saying, you know, Taha says he has this and this degree, but he doesn't. I'm not judging you, you know, and I'm sure your intentions are pure and you want to make this succeed, but you will never, ever make your company succeed with the Gregory Padrils in this world. Never. They have too much of a track record. They are ripping your brand apart. Yeah. And then that's when we start fresh, Taha. All that shit needs to come down. And then, you know, just Gregory Padril, man, use this as a golden opportunity in your life at a tipping point where you can go in the right direction or you can drift off and spiral into the wrong direction, right? You can truly build something, and you seize this opportunity to make good with everyone so that all these companies can get on. I saw it firsthand reaching out to these 2 people that made these threats, right? That I can actually have a conversation with. I'm not going to mention the 2 people's names, right? Now we can say, hey, you know what? We agreed to peace and we'll work together, because it doesn't help when companies and individuals start shredding each other. Doesn't help. I learned my lesson right in the beginning, and I was put in place by the simple driver. and I owned that mistake. I apologize and I owned that mistake, and it got better and better and better after that, right? So what you are doing here is what any executive for any company should be doing. Getting in there, talking, listening, and finding solutions. Been making tons of cash on shorting Uber and Lyft stock. Kyle Lindgren, gotta love you, buddy. Gotta love your input. Allentown Tony in the house. Good to see you, buddy. I wish the icons would be a little bit bigger sometimes. You know, why do they make these little icons so small? Why can't they show our faces? I mean, you can see my face, but why can't I see like a full, nice picture of the individuals? Yeah, Kyle, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Robinhood is awesome. You know, when you sign up someone, a new trader, stock trader under Robinhood, you get a random share, right? And I've got a couple of good shares from Robinhood as a thank you for bringing other people. So I truly, truly love Robinhood. Marketed all day long. Thomas, I agree with you. Thomas Gibson in the house. That's it. Taha, you got to put your foot down. You know, thank you, my friend. Love you, Kyle. Appreciate you. You know, Taha, we'll get along fine. And you will be on my live stream and you will be showing us where the company intends to go, right? But when Trip drivers started spamming all these channels, which is a massive, massive violation, and people should look at the spamming laws, right? And the company comes out with a policy and says, hey, we will not allow this. They then have to enforce. It means if people do it, you have to follow through and deactivate them, right? You just have to deactivate 2 or 3 people and the word will spread, right? A company has to put its legal protections in place and enforce them, right? Enforce their laws, right? So when people sidestep or misstep or abuse or slander or defame, they take action. And the moment you send a signal to 2 or 3 people that say, hey, the company will not tolerate this, and you deactivate 1 or 2 or 3, the word gets out and then people become compliant. I've seen it again and again and again, right? So the best thing you can do is have a word and say, remove it all. And I can tell you, Taha, I will not stop until every defaming, threatening, slandering message towards my colleagues, towards myself, towards my company is removed. From that, when that's all removed, we can start talking, right? And it takes one individual with courage. Bishop couldn't do it. Bishop did not have the executive skills to follow through and cut that cancer and virus off, right? He had the ability and the chance to nip the problem in the butt way, way back and didn't do it and allowed the virus and the cancer to grow, right? By being in denial. I don't know the guy. He's not associated with us. You know who he is, Bishop. You had the opportunity weeks and weeks ago to nip this problem and end it, right? And that's what I'm counting on with Taha here, is that you have a conversation with Bob McNulty, who I know wants to see this company succeed. I know that Motto wants to see this company succeed. I know that Taha wants to see this company succeed, but you got to make some tough decisions here. Doesn't matter if he's an influencer. He's not a driver, and he's using a channel built on scam after scam after scam, Bitcoin scam, this scam, that scam, and now he's latched onto Trip, right? I don't know how much money you guys are paying him or what he's making. He hasn't shown a single screenshot. All he does is all day long is attack and slander and defame under the umbrella of Trip. And your legal problem has become so big, Taha, for Trip, that if anyone, including myself, would act together and attach Trip, How are you going to defend yourself from that issue? You can't say we're not affiliated with him. He's dragging your name through the mud. He's dragging other rideshare drivers through the mud. If you think that Geo, after today's video, is going to sit down, hell no. He will bring the fight to your doorstep, right? That's not what you want, right? That's not what Taha or Trip wants. You do not want 20 pissed off people, including myself, I'll admit it, that have been trashed and dragged through the mud for no reasons. They will retaliate. So, you know, you're a diplomat. And, you know, guys like Kevin didn't build 15,000 followers for nothing. I didn't build 35,000 and then maybe another 20,000 other channels for nothing. Dustin didn't build 28, 30,000 subscribers for nothing. People follow them because they have a principle, they have integrity, they teach you something. Otherwise, you'd be stuck on 200-300 subscribers, right? You'd go nowhere. But you build a following by building up loyalty, by building up a brand. And I don't need my brand trashed by some serial scammer. I don't. I'm sorry, Taha, I don't need that. And you know, that's just not cool. Usually Baked 420 says Uber is leaving Ontario Airport September 12. Can you confirm? I will look into that. That would be an interesting one. Why on earth would they get out the Ontario market, especially the airport? Maybe they burnt their bridges there with airport management. Good to look in. No, I George Schneider, I like it. Geo will never sue people. He will make a video to respond. That's cool and good for him. Good for him, right? I'm a little different. I mean, it depends, you know, if it depends what you need to protect. But sometimes there's no money to collect, so why sue? Why would you spend good money chasing no money? That doesn't make sense. Very often it doesn't even pay off. It's true. Journey with Jordan, very, very accurate statement. That's the whole problem with independent contractors, influencers involved with your company. You can do little to control their actions, right? I'm an independent contractor for Uber and Lyft. Periodically, I will call them out on the bullshit, on the BS, right? So can they influence their influencer? Yeah, they could influence me by deactivating me, right? But would that stop me from exposing the stories? No, right? So you don't have that much control over influencers, but you got to ask yourself to what degree, you know, if you incorporating a Gregory Padril in your launch and you just giving him too much mic power, you know, does that become the voice for Trip, right? Is that the mic, the voice piece for Trip? I think you have a lot of control over that, George Schneider. What do you think? Thank you, Taha. And again, welcome to LA for the next few days. I'll get together with you. I'll bring my laptop and then we'll let's do a live feed where we welcome you on board. Cool. Nelson Menard in the house. Good to see your name again. And then Natural V67. Is that the birth year? If so, you're 1 year older than me. Are you 51? Natural V, or are you 50? Let me know. Yeah, absolutely. Usually baked. May I drop a link from ABC7? Absolutely. Put it here, and let's put let's okay the link. Thank you, Taha. Appreciate that, buddy. It means a lot. It truly does. You have no idea. It's for someone on executive level at Trip, the CTO, to come into my channel, to exercise diplomacy, to listen, to get involved in the conversation. That to me shows character, right? That shows that the intention is there to work together. That's the way it should be, folks. San Diego Rideshare Pro, Mr. Abbasi, should watch Greg's live feed right now. I'm sure he has, Thomas. I'm sure Mr. Abbasi will put his foot down. And I'm not going to stop until there are apologies issued to Kevin. There's apologies issued to Gio. I don't need apology. I just want all that slandering and defamation removed, because the guy does not know me, does not know who I stand for, right? And so we can continue on building GOAT, and they can continue on building Trip without missiles flying back and forth, without hand grenades being tossed over the fence, right? I think that's a valid request. Kyle asks, how is GOAT coming along? I can't find details on it on Street Teams. That's because I don't want to put out the coming soon, Kyle. I don't want to put out screenshots or anything like that and put out pictures and get people excited about things that are not. The coming soon, I think, is the most dangerous thing that you can do, especially when you do like Juno, coming soon, 3 years later, Juno, coming soon. I sent Juno 13,000 drivers. 13,000 drivers got 0 cents. And every month it was coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. And I would email, I would call the directors at Juno and say, what the F is going on? Why are you taking people's names, emails, phone numbers, trip information, and selling it to Jet for $200 million under the banner of coming soon? It's a big mistake I made, handing over 13,000 driver referrals to Juno, which they resold, as well as all the other information that they sold to Jet for $200 million. Shame on the directors of Juno for misleading all those drivers and not following up. So that coming soon, Kyle, those are the most 2 dangerous words you can put out there in the internet world. Love you for that, for understanding. With a little bit of passion, as you can see. And Taha, if I'm in your shoes right now and I'm watching what this Gregory Padril is doing and how he misconstrues and how he shreds videos and how he belittles people like Gio, like Kevin, like myself, you're seeing it live. I don't have to make this shit up. This is real. And you ask yourself, is this good for your brand? And what are the repercussions for my brand? What Trip needs is the bridge to the rideshare industry, is the mutual back and forth trust, right? And they will come and they will support you. But how can we support you? How can we help you? If your main guy there, this is your main channel, is the No More 25 or whatever the fuck this guy's channel is called, right? How on earth can we help you when that is the voice for Trip? We can't. You got to frickin' remove the virus. You know, do I need to buy you a scalpel? Do I need to buy you a doctor outfit? Whatever it takes, my friend, I will send it to you. But you got to remove the cancer. Exactly. You see, now you got a professional like San Diego Rideshare Pro, Thomas Gibson, who has 150% integrity, is a hard worker, and then he reaches out to, this is true diplomacy, to Taha and says, thank you, Mr. Abbasi, right? You've just built a bridge right there and then, right? This is how relationships are formed. And, you know, even if it means that relationships are formed or born in our house, that's great, right? And you guys know my personality, right? By nature, I never shy away. I will always bang heads, and if need be, I will brawl, right? But you got to attack the bull by its horn and deal with the issues. Otherwise, you just swallowing and pretending it doesn't exist, right? It's like in relationships. It ends up in a divorce at some point because they wouldn't talk to each other. Got to talk back and forth. Becky B in the house. Tesla for Uber? I don't know. Did anybody see that driver fall asleep behind the Tesla wheel in LA? I wonder whether that was for real or if that was staged, or apparently another driver driving next to the Tesla is like, what the hell? The guy's sleeping. Did anybody see that? You got to be an alpha male and add to this an alpha female in business, right? It's not just males that run the show here, right? There are super competent female leaders that I've worked under that I respect through and through. Oh, you bet, Brian Blanche, it's coming. He asked, will there ever be another major strike nationwide? I know for a fact it's already in the making. I watch and learn from every video. Watch and learn, watch and learn. That's a good name for a channel. Why doesn't somebody start a channel called Watch and Learn Rideshare? Watch and Learn Rideshare. Jeff, not letting Did you see that video, Becky? Are you talking about the Tesla video? Did you see that one? Well, you know, Elon Musk likes to be involved in all discussion groups, right? And you know, with his success, you know, whether it's in the solar business, the space industry, or Tesla, some people say that Tesla is not a success. Some people say it's a huge success. The bottom line is that he's a marketer. He knows how to mix it up. He knows how to tweet. He knows how to inject himself into conversations. And of course, he's going to inject himself into the rideshare conversation all day long, right? Of course, because he has that's a massive audience. Megaslob says Elon Musk has mentioned launching a Tesla-based rideshare in the future, with owners launching their cars in autonomous mode and sending them out while the owner sits on the beach and makes money. That's all fine and pretty, and I'm sure that is possible in the future, but that's a far time away. Wouldn't you agree, Megaslob? I think that's way in the future. And it's just another bold statement made by Elon Musk, right? And he can make those type of. Oh, Becky, yeah, that was crazy. That was absolute crazy. I'm like, is this staged or is it for real? I think it was for real. It's crazy. Ronald Reinhardt, thank you for contributing. He says, did you see where Guggenheim says Lyft will be profitable in 2021? Send me the link. I would love to read that. I haven't seen it. And I'm sure they could be profitable in 2021. I'm sure they can. It's 2 years from now, if they make the right moves. Brian Blanche's question, Uber stocks keeps dropping. How long till they fold or get bought out? Good question. I think the very worst announcement that they ever made or ever will make was Q2, second quarter. I think both companies, Uber and Lyft, just putting it out there in the third quarter with all these cuts going on right now, right after second quarter are going to show investors, the market, the public, that, hey, our worst quarter is over, Q2. It's going to get better. Just look at Q3. That's just my prediction. Steve from Texas, if you're in the house, just got your, I'm acknowledging your text. Yes, we can chat this week. Thank you. Girlfriend reaches out, how do you feel today? Feel great. Feel good about the fact that we're getting this this trip discussion out there. Feel very good about it. That we're at least talking about real issues. Joey from Boise says that sideride.org began driving. Sideride.org, I'll check them out. Joey from Boise. They're testing the waters. James Campbell, that's an interesting one. Lyft should sell to Microsoft. Becky says, I think it was staged. It's a difficult one. It almost looked too staged when the guy, like, oh, he's waking up and he grabs the wheel again. Asia Blue, welcome. So Megaslob says, with current plan Lyft has made to driver pay in a bunch of markets right now, I don't think Lyft will even be around in 2021. That's his opinion. And you're always entitled to voice your opinion here. As long as we keep it real, as long as we keep it clean, as long as we're not slandering our fellow man in here, right? And I appreciate you being part of the discussion, Megaslob, I really do. Very, very interesting title there, Megaslob. How did you get that name? How did you give yourself that name? Megaslob says, I've heard of municipalities talking about getting into the rideshare game to replace the taxi medallion system. Well, if that's the case, these municipalities obviously have to make a choice, and then also have to make a choice on partners. Who do they want to partner up with? The bottom line is that the taxi business has been there forever. I don't think you're going to eliminate it. I think what taxi companies are doing is that they're brushing up on their technology. They are also empowering their people with new platforms, with new apps. And, you know, it's the same thing, adapt or die, right? Same for hotels. We don't come up with some solution for Airbnb and somehow get into the conversation, your hotel rooms will drop, your bookings will drop. So you got to find a way and stay engaged and stay in the conversation, right? It's a technology is a complete adapt or die situation. Look at Blockbuster Video, look at Netflix today, right? Had Blockbuster seen what was coming their way and started working on new technologies, they could have definitely benefited from it. But they stayed fast asleep and they went out of business. Exactly, Journey with Jordan. Taxis have been around since horse and buggies. I don't think you're going to get rid of taxis, nor should we. Taxis should always... I still think it's cool if I see a yellow taxi fly past me, or a green taxi, or a neon green. Usually they have numbers like 1-800-444-4444 for a taxi. I mean, they're out there. They're doing their good for the guy, good for the driver. Hope he or she makes money in that taxi. I really do, right? Because at the end of the day, that's going to pay for the rent, that's going to pay for the kids, that's going to pay for the education, and that's going to pay for his or her lifestyle and family. Good for the hardworking taxi drivers. Huge shout out to all the hardworking taxi drivers out there. Becky B, I appreciate it. She says, thank you for being mature and keeping, today I probably put the gloves on, right? Today, or maybe the other way. Maybe the other way. Maybe the gloves came off and it's bare buckles. It was bare buckles today, bare buckles. But you got to stand your ground. You got to speak up. Can't be bullied around. You got to take on bullies like the Gregory Padrilles of this world. You got to take them straight on, right? You got to call them on their shit, right? I was super proud when my little 12-year-old Ryan, who's just such a character, said, you know what? And this, I think, was last year when he said, I saw this one kid at school get bullied by these two kids, and I walked up to the kids and I said, stop what you're doing. It's not nice. And he stood their ground with them. Didn't get into a fight. He just stood up to them, right? And he handled it in the following message. He says, I know exactly what you said. So did a few other people know exactly what you said to this little kid. And we will gladly go over to the principal's office and he will call you into the office. Didn't even have to resolve that with bare knuckles. That was just pure diplomacy, putting two older kids in place that were bullying one little child, right? And that's it. You do not allow yourself, and to all those people in my house that ever got bullied at school and maybe bullied by one individual, his or her name. Got to sort of look back at those days and say, you know what, today where I am now, I will not allow that to happen to myself. I am who I am. I know myself. I'll stand up for myself, right? We don't have time and space for the Gregory Padrilles who try and do body shaming towards Kevin, name calling. Doesn't get you anywhere. Making all these crazy judgments towards other people to feed your own ego, making all these psychological projections because you haven't even dealt with your thousands of skeletons in your own closet, doesn't get you anywhere. Only Gregory Padrille can fix Gregory Padrille, right? Can go out there, do the work, right? And all we can do is hold up the mirror to Gregory Padrille so he can actually see himself, right? Thomas, I agree with you 100%. Thanks for the message. I read it. Absolutely. Who says that? What's your link, man? Let's see. Let's see. Who are you? Like, I have one individual right now who's upset that he can't participate in this discussion, keeps on texting me. I will get to you, my friend. I will get to you. There it is. Okay. Let me see how I can help. Let me see. What can I do? There we go. Please report back to me now. Chris, if you're in the mix, please send me a message. Everything should be fine. I don't know. Sometimes it's not me blocking. I have other people that look over my channels, read through and I have certain people that have a say in my channel who can block, who can unblock people, right? I hope you reach out to me. I hope it works now. I would have taken care of this afterwards, but I hope I rectified this right now, Chris. Jake, Rideshare LA. Hi, I'm new to Rideshare. What is Trip? Go check it out. It's not TRIP, it's TRYP. You go and check it out for yourself. It's funny. I'm getting funny messages, man. Text messages. Trying to read the house messages. Wow, we're on 240. I'm still doing okay. Brian Blanche says, do you know any information on Sammy's Law in New Jersey that goes into effect 9/1/19, 1st of September? The girl that was killed in South Carolina was from Jersey, and her parents made this law happen. Wow, I need to read up about that. That was a very sad, sad story that she had to lose her life. I want to read up about that. Hey, there's Chris. Whoop, whoop. Got your voice back. Got your keyboard back. Whoop, whoop. The only way, Megaslav, that rates will be restored is you have 2 or 3 new legitimate players in the mix, right? When the word is about Lyft, Uber, that company and that company, then you're going to see rates restoring themselves. Woot woot, Chris. Chris is in the house, back with us from Tempo. Ronald Reinhardt says the Ontario fee went from $3 to $4. Wow. Percentage-wise, that's a lot, right? It's like a 25% increase right there. Yeah. Baffles me too, Megaslob. Mind boggles me how these rideshare lose billions per quarter. Meanwhile, all they got to do is operate an app, and how does billions vanish and they're still in operation? How do they manage to spend all that money? That's a good video. My Australian friend Andrew says, you've got to take your sons to watch Good Boys. It's hilarious. Will do. Anybody seen Good Boys? Payman Ali in the house. Now, this is a legend. Love the guy. I'm going to be back in Vegas soon, Payman. Got to get together a little bit longer. I know you came right at the end, but lunch is on me, brother. Becky, have a great day. Drive safe. Monday, have a fantastic week. Cool. Definitely reconnect. Good to make good friends in Vegas. I've got one guy called Tour Las Vegas 80 who thinks he's the hotshot and should be the only guy driving with Uber in Vegas, hating the fact that new drivers are signing up in Vegas. Listen, wake up and smell the coffee, buddy, right? Whether people go from Vegas to LA, New York to LA, LA to Vegas, people migrate, right? People change jobs, people change cities. To be accused of that, I'm sending all these LA drivers to Vegas, wake up and smell the coffee. I don't have that power, my friend. I don't have that power. I don't have the power to tell someone to pack up in LA and go and drive in Vegas, right? And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So what I always tell people that feel that they're entitled in their city and it should all revolve around them and revolve around the ego, you know what? The pizza pie is big enough, my friend. Share it up and keep everybody fed. You know? No. I mean, don't say, I'm not coming to Vegas and drive. I didn't say that. I just said that I was accused by one individual that I'm sending Los Angeles drivers to Vegas to drive. I don't know how you come up with that, my friend. Chris says, I drive Uber only because I take care of my mom with dementia, so I can only drive part-time. But in the last few months, I have had problems with sexual advances, had to police report with one. Sad that women drivers have to get subjected to that. This is wrong. And you're doing the right thing. You've got to report it. Infantry Sarge is in the house. San Diego's in the house. Welcome. Is it hot down there? It's insanely hot up here, my friend. Good to see you here, Inventory Sarge. No, Payman Ali, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not saying move there to drive. I'm not encouraging that, right? But at the end of the day, anybody that's scouting for a job, if you're a student and you need part-time work, what are you going to do? You're going to go and sign up with Uber or Lyft, or you're going to go and sign up under a driver, whether it's with Dustin or me or with Payman. You want to tell a guy if he can or cannot work. You cannot tell a guy he cannot come from that city and go and work in that city. It's just like migration patterns, my friends. Like, I don't understand how some people think they can control that. But I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Right? Don't go out there and advertise and say, hey, you guys got to all go and work in Vegas. No, man. There's so many hot markets out there. You just have to know how to make the money. Right? Good point. Works both ways, right? Journey with Jordan says males have problems with sexual advances too. I've been propositioned by riders that think Uber is Tinder. Good point. So true, right? You're right. Works both ways. Tower 68, Eddie from Phoenix Lyft. Been watching for a couple of months. Have learned a lot. I appreciate you, my friend. And I hope it's still working for you, Eddie. I hope Phoenix is still making you money. I really do. Report back to us. Dustin's moving from Florida to New Jersey. I did not know that. I did not know that. Infantry Sarge says what we should do is just make sure that we're all doing well instead of worrying about acting like dogs at the dog food bowl. Just get smart to learn how to get those rides. 100% correct. Just figure out ways that work better for you. Try out different things. I was never a morning person. I was never a morning person. Early morning person. No, I can't do that. I can't get up at that time. But I tell you what, when I started embracing that 4:35 a.m. to 8 or 9 a.m. slot, I got so much done before the day even started. I made so much money. So it's all about getting out of your comfort zone. Am I willing to get out of my comfort zone and try out new things? Right? Am I willing to get out of my comfort zone, go over to streetteams.com, create a profile, make a video and upload it to streetteams.com? Am I willing to do that? Am I willing to dedicate 30 minutes to that? I'm already getting scheduled trip requests for this Labor Day weekend. See, Thomas, the Rideshare Pro, is being proactive, my friends. Power to Thomas. Jay Freak says, I like to drive at night. See, maybe many people don't like to drive at night. So you're working the graveyard shifts, getting out of your comfort zone and making money. That's fantastic. It's working for him, right? Not many people don't like those graveyard shifts. I would say 12 till 4 a.m. graveyard shift. Super early shift would be 5 a.m. onwards. Some people get up, put the alarm clock on. But like guys like Jay Freak, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay Freak, but you probably enjoy the 12 p.m. to 4 a.m. slot, right? You do well there. Because that's when many people go to bed. Yep. I like that too. That Geo is talking more and more about health issues, bringing good videos. I put his link, I want to work with the geo. I'm not attacking the guy, right? There is a way to work with everyone. When the guy is promoting health and showing you results and showing you what it takes to be healthy, his link, I put it there underneath my video. This is a real topic, that these insane hours and all this additional psychological stress on a driver affects health. And it's good to see health videos. I'll promote that all day long. Gary Kubeta says, Professor, it's over. We're all screwed. I'm not screwed, Gary. Why do you feel you're screwed? Please share. Don't work for free, my friend. Don't work for free. Yeah, your health is everything. It is the number one factor, Payman. Health is everything. Why destroy your health by the age of 55, 60 when you could have another 30 good years? Yeah, but don't compare yourself to Dara. Dara's $19,000 an hour. Let it be. Don't have to compare yourself to him. I'm ending this stream after 3 hours. We're on 2:51. Let's get through the next 8 minutes. Love you back, my friend Gary. He says, but you have to be honest, we are slaves. Never, ever put that label upon yourself. At that moment, you have surrendered if you call yourself a slave. If you feel that you've been pushed in the direction slave, get out. Never take that brand on you. You are not. Those days are over. Slavery days are over, my friend. You have options. You have opportunities. This is not the only gig. If you feel that it's heading in that direction, get out. Divorce. Hand in the divorce papers, or try something out on those two different platforms. Maybe trade your car in. Maybe try out Excel. Maybe drive different hours. But you never, ever put that brand label upon yourself. You are not a slave. You are not a slave to the rhythm, and you are not a slave, period. That's fine. Now that is a more healthy decision when you say, I'm quitting gig work. That's a decision you make. And if that helps you move forward to the next thing, was a good decision, right? But don't do this day in, day out. They're cutting your rates. I'm becoming a slave. No, stop. You have a choice. Get out. Right? Get out. Here we go. I'm not a slave. I choose every day. And Gary, I'm 150% behind you, brother. Love you. Enjoy having you here. So whatever your decision is, I support it, right? But I do not want you to put that brand on yourself, because that's not who you are. I know that's not who you are. You are way bigger than that. You are way better than that. And you're way more worthy than that, right? Here we go. Guys, all I can say, I watched this, so I was corrected early on. I watched this movie on the weekend, the relationship between a driver and his passenger. Powerful movie. I think it won a few Oscars. We're at the 2-hour 54 mark. We have 5 hours and 50 seconds to go. As are you, my friend. Hawaii's in the house. Aloha, my friend. What part of Hawaii? The Big Island, Kauai, Oahu? Where are you, my friend? Do I love Hawaii? I literally made a whole family album on a couple of Hawaii trips. Let's roll, Tina. That's a lot of love there, man. That's a lot of likes. Honolulu. And please tell me you're driving an XL. Please tell me you're driving a minivan, Sheldon. Yeah, Tao, you're right on that one. Still working on that, right? So after 1.5 months, still working, but go and join different rooms. Start getting content out. Volkswagen T1. Did they put that into... thank you, Gary, for saying that. Street Teams. Go to Street Teams, guys. Switch hats here. Put the professor hat on for a while. Does that car qualify for XL? The Tiguan? It does, right? $256. Screen starting to go dark on me. A sign, a clear sign. It's time to wrap up. San Diego Rideshare Pro, my friend Thomas. So I've got 1 o'clock in the morning. I should have reached out to you, but maybe you're sleeping. I'm not sure. You're a valuable business person contributing to our society and making it a better place every day. Good. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. And I look forward to the next dinner, which is on me, down there or up here. Let's grab lunch or dinner. There we go. There we go. Qualifies for X, Comfort, XL, and Select. Beautiful. Sheldon, where are you getting most of the trips in Honolulu? Are you sometimes switching the X capability off and focusing on XL? What do you think out of those categories that you've just mentioned on the island makes you the most money? I'm going to carefully say XL. Carefully. Please elaborate. I mean, if you have that combination XXL on, of course they're going to choose X, right? But I mean, the moment they have 5 passengers or more, I mean, they're forced to use XL. You don't have to accept 5 people and give them an X-rated trip. Yeah, Geo is reporting on Lyft. Yeah, and maybe on Uber too, on how certain categories are not starting to work out for drivers. That's why you're seeing so many people. So this is good. This is good. I'm not saying that this is not real. This is real, and you can see I'm reporting on the same thing. When I'm saying that people are leaving Lyft in droves in certain markets, right? Geo's reporting it. Dustin's reporting on it. Kevin's reporting on it. Got to be something. Got to be something to it. If so many people are emailing and texting you, I'm out. I'm out in this market. I left Lyft, just focusing on Uber. Got to be something to it, right? Well, whoop whoop, Thomas. Whoa, damn, overwhelming amount of likes. Overwhelming amount of likes. I like you. Do you like me? My name is Borat. I like you. Anybody see that funny movie, Borat? I like you. Do you like me? Pamela Anderson is beautiful. I love Pamela Anderson. I want to meet her. My name is Borat. Sheldon says most of the time trips are X because the age, so many XL drivers. Okay. Right. Yeah, Bruno. Bruno is fucking hilarious. Bruno, and he's got another Ali G show. He's actually very good, the actor on Ali G. Gary, see you later, my friend. Drive safe out there. Yeah, Bruno was hilarious. Bruno. Good feedback. In what city, Tao? Sheldon, good info. Sheldon Graham says, I do most of my trips on the west side of Oahu by the higher end hotels like the Four Seasons, Disney Olani, and the Beach Club. Mossy, very cool. Good info. Very good. I should actually, next time I'm there, I should go over to that side. I've been to the Four Seasons. I know which one. Phoenix. Thank you for sharing, Tao. All right. We're on 3 hours. I didn't think I'd ever get to 3 hours. I thought I'd get to 1 hour, but let's thumbs up. I'm going to get out here. Thomas has given us a boatload of thumbs up. He's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 60 likes. So let's match that. Let's match Thomas, the Rideshare Pro. If you have not subscribed to his channel, please do. San Diego Rideshare Pro, Thomas Gibson, valuable asset as far as San Diego and surroundings go. Reach out to him, let him help you, meet with him. You want to sign up in San Diego, learn from the pro, right? Go and subscribe to his channel. Let's do this, guys. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. I need to crank the AC up. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking for 3 hours. I don't know how I got through the 3 hours, but I did, thanks to you guys. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from James Campbell. I got about 60 from, I need about a 40 more, and I'm bailing out. Cool. Send me her links, Wendy Bell. A rideshare car thread. We need a rideshare car thread. That's good. I like that. Maintenance issues. Good point. Go write that down. Go write that down. Rideshare maintenance. I like that. Rideshare maintenance thread. Thank you for that suggestion. I appreciate that. Tina gave me 6. Let's go. James gave me. Let's go. I need to get. I'm not begging for likes. I just like a few likes. I can take a picture and carry on with my day. 3 hours. Power Uber Eats. Let's go. I like it. I like to move 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 it. Let's roll, Tina. Woo! 40 there. I like to move it. Remember that song? So freaking viral. Wasn't that in Madagascar? It was so funny. I like Madagascar 1. Okay, guys, to take a screenshot there, send you good vibes for the Monday. That's it. There we go now. I wish you a fantastic day. I thank Taha Abassi from being on board in our channel and giving us really good feedback and his willingness to reach out to, I don't even want to mention the guy's name. Just call him Mr. Cancer, Mr. Virus, to reach out and have a strict word with him, right? And then hopefully we can get this on the right track. Love you all. Thank you. Appreciate you being part of it. Thomas, we need to have lunch or dinner, my friend. Catch up. We need to catch up. Payman Ali, send my regards to Vegas. Sheldon, thank you for your contributions. Gary, thank you for your contributions. James, thank you for your contributions. Tao, thank you for your contributions. Jay Freak in the house, thank you for your contributions. Let's roll, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.